The governor is back from her trip to Washington, where she met with Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
The meeting comes as the southern border is once again seeing overwhelming groups of migrants turn themselves into U.S. authorities. Joe Dana tells us just how bad the situation is with new numbers from Customs and Border Patrol.
The Border Patrol's fiscal year ends in September, so now we can get an idea of how 2023 compares to other years dating back to 2000 when it comes to border apprehensions between the ports. As you can see, the last 2 years, a major surge. 2.2 million last year, and for the 2023 fiscal year, just over 2 million. After illegal entries dropped to a 2-year low in June.
The numbers, they've scaled back.
They shot up again, prompting the feds to reassign Customs and Border Patrol agents away from ports of entry.
I shared how frustrated we were that happened. They're pulling people away from their jobs to deal with the flow of migrants, and that we had very little communication.
On Monday, Governor Katie Hobbs said she told Secretary Mayorkas during her visit with him last week that Arizona needs more financial support and better cooperation.
He committed to doing better at the communication part, letting us know more ahead of time.
Since we visited Yuma in July, apprehensions have surged. Santa Cruz County supervisors officially sent a letter to President Biden last week asking for $3 million to help people released on the streets of Nogales.
Hopefully they can have FEMA come and set up some kind of tent.
In Pima County, nonprofits that were assisting 4 to 5 busloads of migrants per day in June are now seeing more than a dozen. Immigration attorney Luis Parra says systems designed to accommodate migrants are at capacity.
Congress needs to act. We need meaningful immigration reform, and that includes an overhaul of our asylum law, because otherwise this will not stop.
8 years ago, most people coming to the border were single Mexican men. Today, families are coming from all parts of the world. Non-Mexican and non-Central American migrants make up the majority. According to the Nonpartisan Migration Policy Institute, political upheaval in countries like Venezuela and economic troubles in Africa and elsewhere are driving migrants to the U.S.
This is not Republican versus Democrat. It's a national problem, and that we have to deal with this as a national crisis.
Governor Hobbs also said the feds will appropriate a new tranche of funds to border communities. Earlier this summer, she also dedicated $25 million of state money to border governments and law enforcement, and another $10 million last week to the city of Nogales. Joe Dana, 12 News.